Alright, today I'm going to discuss the whole Danny Garcia-Rod Salka fight. I know it's a few days past. I didn't want to support the fight in any way, okay? The last time I did a video where I discussed this card was when they first announced that Peterson and Garcia was going to be fighting on the same card, but not each other, not against each other, okay? At this point, it was only a few days before they announced that it was going to be Rod Salka was going to be his opponent, okay? And I just didn't, when I found out who Rod Salka was, the fact that he was a lightweight with no punching power, and where he was ranked, you know, he wasn't ranked among any of the you know, sanctioning bodies, and he was ranked 77th at lightweight, you know. I didn't want to support the fight in any kind of way, okay? I didn't want to do a post-fight video. I didn't want to do a prediction video. I just didn't want to do any videos at all. Like, I was completely boycotting the whole fight altogether, okay? The whole card, all right? Shout out to Daniel Jacobs, you know, for making history as a fighter that beat cancer and became a champion. But other than that, I didn't want to support. And I have nothing against Lamont Peterson because he actually wanted the Danny Garcia fight, okay? And they decided to put the two of them on the same card so it would build up. Like, I know what these promoters are doing, okay? We understand that. The difference between the Lamont Peterson fight, between Vladimir Klitschko fighting a Leopai, or you know, a Canelo fighting a Josecito Lopez, or anything like any other cherry pick fight in history or recent memory, okay? Danny Garcia fought a guy that had zero chance of winning, okay? It was impossible for Rod Salka to win the fight, okay? Because not only wasn't he ranked, but he was in a smaller division, and he wasn't even a power puncher in that division, so he didn't even have a puncher's chance, okay? I saw the fight way after the fight was already over, you know. I saw it like the next night, the following night. I finally got around to watching it, and I mean, what did anybody else expect, you know? I mean, the fight was made, it was created to, it was a confidence booster for Danny, and it wanted the whole purpose of the fight was to make people believe that Danny Garcia is a top fighter, and it worked. Because I could just tell from the reactions of people. And the only reason why I'm doing this video now is because people have asked me about it. People have asked me on Twitter about it. Okay, someone asked me recently on YouTube, on my channel, about it. I just wasn't going to do a video, period. You know, and people have been asking me, so I guess I figure I'll speak about it now. I mean, it's over. You know, I just didn't want to support the fight, and it worked, you know, because now people are saying how sharp Danny was, and, you know, Danny's in the interview saying, you know, I prepare for every fight. You know, it doesn't matter who I fight. It does matter who you fight. You're the #1 fighter at junior welterweight. It does matter. You're the champion. Okay, it does matter. You just can't fight random people. You know, other fighters have stayed busy fights, okay? Other fighters cherry pick. Other fighters fight bumps. But when you fight 2 times a year, you don't fight Rod Salkas. You just don't do it. You already knocked out Amir Khan. You beat Zab Judah. You beat Kendall Holt. Okay, you beat so many fighters. You know, there's so many fighters that you've beaten already. Beat Matisse. Okay, you was the underdog in that fight. And this further proves on why Mauricio Herrera won that fight. Because if he didn't win that fight, they wouldn't have put him against Rod Salka, okay? And you know, it's funny because a lot of people thought the Herrera fight was a cherry pick fight. All right, I don't know if you watched my prediction video, but it was no, you know, I clearly said that Herrera had a good chance of winning the fight. And he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And I knew he was going to give Garcia some problems. All right, but this is a clear, this is not even a cherry pick. This was a fight. They put Rod Salka in there to You know, and I would have felt really bad if that kid got hurt. Like, let's say he seriously got hurt. Look at the size difference between the two. And we know Salka agreed to take the fight. Of course he's never gonna get an opportunity like that. Of course he's gonna take the fight. You know, I know he agreed to it, but look at the difference in size. Danny Garcia looked like a full welterweight. Salka still looked like a lightweight. He looked like a lightweight, which that's what he is. Okay? And in a fight, on top of the fact that Danny was a larger, more skilled boxer between the two, more powerful boxer between the two, they moved the weight up to 142. So it gave him even more of an advantage. He didn't even have to worry about making weight at 140. So, you know, I've seen the interviews and I'm like, you know, it's Danny Garcia's show. And, you know, it's funny because if you watch Lamont Peterson is like, you know, he's kind of, even in the post-fight video, you know, he's just kind of like, you know, he knows the guy he fought wasn't on his level. Why brag and boast about it? You know? He stopped the guy that didn't deserve to be in the ring. I was going to go to the fight. I got requests. Someone offered me free tickets to the fight. I have relatives that went to the fight. You know, I know people, I have friends. You know, one of my best friends is friends with Santana. You know, the guy that fought Lamont Peterson. I had plenty of reasons to go to the fight. You guys know, you guys watch my channel. You guys know I go to the Barclays fight all the time. But I was not going to support this fight. I was not making a video or anything about it. The only reason why is because people keep asking me. Okay? So there you have it. And you know what? And I read on BoxingScene.com today, and they're saying that Danny Garcia might be fighting Lamont Peterson in December, but the fight, they're saying Espinoza says that the belts are secondary. How are they both champions and the belts are secondary? Make some kind of sense out of that. If these guys, if Danny Garcia can't make weight, don't fight at 140 anymore. Go up to 147. And he's in interviews saying that he could beat everybody at 147. He's saying that now. He didn't want to fight with Floyd before. But now that his confidence is back, I can beat everybody at 147. So go to 147. And I'm not taking anything away from Danny Garcia. I'm not taking nothing. I do think he's the best fighter at 140. Okay? Not because he's a champ, but I truly believe that he's the best fighter at 140. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from this guy. I praised Danny Garcia so many times on this channel. Okay, I put him in the top 10 pound for pound list. I put him in my top 10 favorites list. Okay? Personal favorite fighters, active fighters. I have no reason to sit here and bash him. But come on, man. If you're really as good as you think you are, as I think you are, as many of the fans think you are, I mean, I'm not going to take nothing from the Herrera fights. Some fighters have those type of fights, man. Sometimes the styles, it's just it's not the right style for you. And you're going to look bad. I think if they rematch, I think he would do better in a rematch. Because he ended the fight decent. He started coming off a little strong towards the end of the fight. But let's be realistic here. Like this Salka fight, there's no way you can make any excuses for that fight. That was the worst fight in recent boxing history. There's not one fighter, all right, that's ranked #1 in their division have dropped that low in competition. Not that low, okay? There's been cherry pick fights. There's been stay busy fights. There's been fights, you know, it's been all kind of fights made. But Salka was way off. No fighter recently has dug that deep to get an easy fight. And it worked because everyone is saying how sharp Danny looked. It's good to look sharp against Salka, okay? Anybody, Peterson, okay, Matisse, okay? Even Zab Judah of today would have looked good against Salka. Anyone. They would have all knocked them out as well. So it worked. I mean, I know the game plan, but now Danny, you know what? Me personally, I don't think Danny, I think he's ready for 147, but I don't think he could beat the top fighters at 147. I'm not quite sure about that. You know, I would like him to stay at 140. Okay, if he can make weight. If he can't, then go up. But if he can make weight, I would like him to stay at 140. If he can try a little harder to make weight, then I would like him to stay. I would love to see the Broner fight. Speaking of Broner, Broner did not look like he was interested in fighting Danny Garcia after all the stuttering he was doing after they asked him about that fight. All right, I would like Danny to stay at 140. I would want to see the Broner fight. Okay, I want to see the Peterson fight. I would like to see him fight Delorme. Shoot, fight Jesse Vargas. You know, Jesse Vargas, I mean, me personally, I think that's a step down from the fighters he's fought already. But at least he's a top 10 ranking fighter. You know, he could have even went down to the top 30. You know, I wouldn't have been mad if he fought Emmanuel Taylor. You know, Broner's fighting him, and I'm gonna do that video next. I'm gonna do that prediction video next. But my point is, there's no excuse for what Danny, that last fight. There's no excuse for that. No matter which way you try to go with it, Salka is ranked way underneath him. All right, this was a whole new level of cherry picking. This is not cherry picking. I said this on Twitter. I said this wasn't cherry picking. This wasn't fighting a bum. This was homicide. Salka was in there, sitting there as a sacrificial lamb to make Danny look good, for people who could believe that he's one of the best again. All right, for the general public. I never lost any confidence in him. I just thought the Herrera fight was a bad choice of style for him. Okay, so that's my that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm never gonna speak about that fight, Danny Garcia and all that. You know, I mean, him and Lamar Peterson, I hope they fight. I hope they put the belts on the line. If not, then vacate the belts, man. Just give it up, move up, and wait. Do whatever you gotta do. You know, it'll be 2 fights back to back without putting the titles up. You know, these guys, I don't know, man. What is Danny is the WBA and the WBC, and Lamar Peters and IBF. They don't want to unify the titles. How can this? Come on, how can Espinoza say that? The titles are secondary. When 2 champions are fighting each other, how are the titles secondary? Makes no sense. Subscribe to the channel.